Hey, I'm Drew,
I'm Danielle.
and we are Dear Rouge.
We're going to answer a couple of questions.
From the mug of paper questions. Here we go.
Okay,
You first or me?
you go first.
Okay. When did you start as a band? Danny and I started making music together in 2010. And Dear Rouge became a band officially in 2012 for a Radio Battle of the Bands contest that we won and allowed us to win a prize money and make a record and become Dear Rouge.
Yeah, I guess that's a very practical question, isn't
I'm
it?
just going to go like this. Do you need to reuse these or should I just...
If you came across a civilization that had never heard music, what song would you play? Yours or someone else's?
Oh, man.
Let's do ours and then let's do someone else's.
No way.
Okay.
I would play them a song we have called Wallpaper because it's probably the most unhinged song that it would shock them.
I think I would play Life Goes By and I Can't Keep Up. And I think I played that one from us because it's just like the human experience kind of encapsulated into a song. Our human experience. There's more storytelling in it. It's beautiful. It's sentimental. And I'm really proud of it. And I think that this person would like it.
I would play them for sure, though. We definitely wouldn't play our music. I would do.
A Beatles
I would do.
song, probably,
I do
wouldn't you?
John Lennon Imagine because it's like the world song, or Leonard Cohen Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah.
Just something with rich emotion that they've never experienced, and it would be. But then it would be tricky because they would be setting on high standard, and everything else would be low.
No, it'd have to be Beatles. It'd have to be a Beatles song like Hey Jude.
Yeah.
One of those.
If you could have anyone call you right now and ask for you to open for them, who would it be
Ooh.
and where?
And where?
I would.
We like the where part too.
I would say I would love to do the. I would love to do the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado, and I think if it was Dear Rouge opening for a band, I probably would just go for like a. It would have to be Killers or Coldplay or something.
Coldplay.
Just because it would expose us to like so many new fans, and they were like childhood band,
Yeah, that's true.
and then so it'd feel like a monumental thing. Whereas
Yeah.
like I feel we've played with the Killers before, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I think I would do something.
I think
like
I'd
that.
pick St. Vincent or Yes.
That's good.
And I would probably want it to be like something epic, like, I don't know, could I say Coachella? Like just at a festival would be really rad.
Yeah,
like
opening
that.
for them, so you'd be second last on the main night.
Yes.
That'd be pretty wicked.
Sounds epic, yeah. Okay.
These are good questions.
Best advice to new bands or someone looking to start? Join one. I think the best piece of advice is you can't be what you're not. So just lean in really hard to what you do. Choose your lane and just, that's you. And just go for it. And do things afraid. Because we're often afraid and that stops us. But just because you do it doesn't mean you're not afraid while you're doing it. And I think the fear slowly dissipates as you continue.
I would say do it because you love it, not, if you think about money and fame and success, that stuff comes secondary. And if you're chasing those things, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons and you're going to burn out. You do it because you love it. You do it because you want to play music, make the music you like, and share it with other people, whether it be a campfire, small pub, Coachella, Red Rocks. All of them will be good gigs. Obviously, everyone wants money, fame and money, but you do it because you love it, and that will keep you going forever. No one will be able to shut you down. What was your first show, and how did it go? Our first show was Canada Day 2011 in Surrey, opening for the Peak Performance Project out of Vancouver. And we played 25 minutes, and we needed to write a song to fill that speed.
What's the origin of your band's name? Well, this is funny because we were choosing a name for our band, and it was just like there's nothing good. We went over like a bunch of different ones, the Gallery, something Lion, like we just had all these random names. And then Drew's brother and him were in Scotland, and they were on this road trip, and his brother was like, why don't you do something related to where she's from, where Danielle's from? And she's like, well, she's from Red Deer, so I don't think there's a very cool name in there. And he was like, well, why don't you just like turn it around, flip it on its head? I don't know, call it. Anyways, we landed on Dear Rouge. And it stuck because we thought it's cool to think of like, don't forget where you came from. And also like we thought it sounded like you're like writing a letter to love. Like Dear Rouge is like, red is like, you know, passionate color. Made it so we made it cooler in our minds, but that's where it came from, was my hometown.
First concert, I think mine was Our Lady Peace.
Mine was.
Oh.
But I think yours?
I think
that's why I'm shocked. I didn't think that was your
I think
first
mine
show.
was like a Christian rock band, and I was like, whoa. I think it was like Delirious or something. Yeah, there was this old Christian rock band, and I was just overwhelmed with the crowd and the lights, and it was so exciting.
I think mine was Our Lady Peace, but also Chaos at the Calgary Stampede. I vividly remember going with my friends as a young teeny bopper and seeing Chaos and being like, whoa, this guy's rad. And he's a fellow Vancouverite, so that's cool. Here we go. How did you all meet? Well, how did you and I meet, Drew?
Danny and I met through a mutual friend that we had, and she came out here for school, and then she told me, she's like, you're going to really like my friend Danielle. And it always felt a little bit competitive. We always were a little bit young and feisty, so we're kind of like prove it to each other.
Well,
but
we
always
meet
connected.
Through her, and then we kind of were feisty towards each other.
But her band was touring, my band was touring, and then as we got older and more mature, we realized that our connection was just different.
Is that good? Keep going?
Yeah. 2 more.
No, there's
3 more.
Okay, here we go. Best show, worst show.
Okay, our best show, I would say Skookum in Vancouver. There was a festival. We got the Friday night, and it was so beautiful. We just had the best. I was dropping things behind. Yeah, Skookum in Vancouver was just incredible. There was like over 15,000 people there. We felt like we were just coming to this age that was so good. I think the worst show was we had a 10-minute changeover in South by Southwest, and things broke down, and bands had to get off stage, and there's people from American labels seeing us.
I have a better one.
Okay.
We flew all the way to Germany to play at Reeperbahn for one showcase.
For half an hour.
For a half an hour. And we were like, yes, we had people coming. It was going to be great. Sound didn't work properly. People were leaving. It was noisy. It just did not go well. And that was really sad.
What about your best show? We should have done worst to best.
Best show.
Tonight?
Oh, well, I mean, on this Lonesome High tour, the
Edmonton?
best show was Edmonton. And I think just there was a lot of great energy, and we had a really, really good time. And this tour has been really emotional and lovely, so the fans really connected with the music, and that was great.
That's cool. Biggest influences for me, my biggest influences early on were, it's very cliche, but I have to say it because it's true. It's the Beatles. I loved how they could make a good pop song, good emotional song. They tried everything. They pushed the limits. They just kept creating and creating and creating, and their success followed them. It's like nobody could catch up to them. They just kept turning, changing, moving, and a lot of bands, they get somewhere and then they just stay there, and they never stood still.
When and why did you start playing your instrument? I was a very young girl when my mother got me into piano, and so piano was my first instrument. And I'm a singer, so I was always singing, but piano was where I started, and I was basically not forced to do it, but I played I didn't love practicing like every kid, but eventually it became my own. And my piano teacher was always like, you have to play what's written. And I'd be like, but my version sounds better. And that's how I knew that I was
a lead singer?
A songwriter, lead singer, yeah.
My dad was a music teacher and my mom was a piano teacher. So I felt like I had lessons even before I knew what I needed to do. And I played guitar and violin, piano, yeah, all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jade.